Ben Jacobs and all these top tier sports journalists, they are saying that Ole Gunnar plan to them wasn't ideal because Ole Gunnar wanted to get the short-term deal, then improve the performance, take the team back to the Champions League, and then with a guarantee that we will get now a permanent job in the summer. And I think Ineos couldn't buy that. And remember, Ole Gunnar was here under the previous our owners are still there, the Glazers, but then we didn't have a proper football structure. We had an idiot by the name Ed Woodward, who was from JP Morgan banking system. Imagine guy from a banking system and he comes into a football club to handle transfer and the football structure of a football club. We have been shit for years. So Ole Gunnar under him, people come here and gaslight us. You know what? He played beautiful football, counter-attacking football. But you know what? There were some instances you could see the red flags in him, the in-game management. He wasn't that proper. And he bottled. I keep repeating this. He bottled 3 domestic semi-finals and 1 Europa League semi-final and 1 Europa League final. And even though that season that he finished second, he was so inconsistent. We had 11 draws. We had a couple of losses. And the team at some point looked like a shell of its former self. So I don't think Man United wanted to repeat that. They didn't want to repeat that because we have been there before. And we know what it takes to have Ole Gunnar in this football team. Yes, he's inexperienced, but again, he also the same guy who went to the overlap, talked to Ian Wright, Gary Neville, Roy Keane, and Carrick, and he said that when at the helm at Man United, he lost the dressing room, and even at some point, no one wanted to take the captaincy armband. He said that people like he asked Luke Shaw to take the armband. Luke Shaw said no. He asked the other one. They said no. So and. He also asserted and he came up with this revelation that in his last game against Watford at halftime, he told the players, like, whoever wants to play, just play. If you feel like you don't want to play, don't play for this club. So he knew that he has lost the dressing room, and by that time against Watford, he knew that he was going to get the sack. So why would you bring such a manager who could not stamp his authority in the dressing room of the biggest club in Manchester in England? So it doesn't make sense. So I think those are the things that Man United board now sat down and, you know what, we have to move on from this excess. Yes, you are this toxic excess. Sometimes you might have someone, maybe you tried with at some point, maybe he or she were better, they were making you laugh at some point, they were making your life sad, but at some time things went south, and you just leave each other and you part ways, and then after 3 years now you say, you know, we need to try for second time. No, it doesn't work like that. Those things the rebound do not work at any point. We need to move for another direction. Michael Carrick, for those of you who don't know Michael Carrick has been at Middlesbrough. The way he plays football in a formation of 4-2-3-1 system. That's a very normal formation, especially during Jose Mourinho era, Eric Ten Hag, even Louis van Gaal at some point, David Moyes. It is something that we have really played for quite some time. So I expect him to continue with that 4-2-3-1. But maybe this is now where it comes interesting, because you have Mbeumo and Cunha, who are not really wingers. They are not wingers. Maybe we'll be starting Maino and Ugarte Maino and Casemiro in the double pivot. They play Bruno as a 10, then play Cunha on the left side and Mbeumo on the right side as wingers on paper. But when we have the ball, he gives them the authority to come inside as inside forwards and give our fullbacks that option of going high up the pitch to provide width, and we're gonna cook. So it will be an interesting things to see. Michael Carrick he's a club agent. He was Mourinho's assistant at this football club, and he has been here for so long. He's a cool guy. He's a guy who is loved by the club, where people respect him so much, and we expect that things to continue. Even the players, I'm quite sure they are cool with him. He was never like he was well respected. We signed him in 2006 from Tottenham Spurs, and he has been our club legend. He has been a captain of Manchester United after Wayne Rooney. So it's a good appointment for a short term. But again, it's also a good thing, a stepping stone for Michael Carrick to sharpen his managerial career and whatever, all these things. So I'm happy with Michael Carrick appointment, and I hope that we will all forget about Amorim, because Amorim sexuals keep telling us, you know what, this guy did not deserve to be sacked. Shut up. Alonso just got sacked recently and had very, very good performance at Real Madrid, and he got the sack. Why? Because this club have standards. Even Man United, we have standards. So let's move on. Let's forget this BS of keep saying, oh, you know this, you know that, Amorim shouldn't have been sacked. We don't care. We need to move forward. Let's support him. Let's hope this short time we will see something good. He will rejuvenate Man United. We will see beautiful football. We will see more goals. We will see more wins. We will see more clean sheets, because those are things that we have been suffering from in recent years. It was hectic under Eric Ten Hag in this last season, and it was a very bad one, a bad run for 14 months with Amorim. So it's a good appointment for me, and I hope that even the players themselves will now start. We will support. They will support Michael Carrick, as we now in the summer and see the manager that will come to Manchester United and maybe take us to the next the next level. Because this team, we need to be competitive once again. We have been in the pit for the last 3 years, 4 years. So things have not been going good for Manchester United, yet we call ourselves the biggest club in England and one of the biggest clubs in the world. So those are things. So I expect that's a beautiful football with Michael Carrick. So Manchester United host Man City. That's a derby in the early kickoff on Saturday. I expect to see Michael Carrick on the dugout. So it will be interesting to see how he handles his first match at Manchester United. And let's hope players will turn up for him. But now Ahmad has returned to Manchester United. Mbeumo again. Mazraoui is the only absentee that we are having at the moment. But we have idiots like Dalot who are going to start. I don't rate him. He's such a prat. So those are the things that I'm looking at. So I expect maybe a manager bounce kind of a thing. But again, even if we lose to Manchester City, I don't think it will be a big thing. I don't think people are going to come back and say, you know what, this guy, no. I don't think so. We are just, it's like, do you know what, guys? Manchester United board have just written off this season. And it's January. It's so unfortunate. We are just written off the season. Why? We were knocked out in the Carabao Cup by Grimsby. Brighton did the thing in FA Cup. We can't win we are not in the any European club competition. And in the league, we can't finish even in the top 5, let alone winning the league. So this season has been written off by Manchester United. So unfortunate. So we are just there to finish the season and start afresh next season, 2025, 2026, 2027 season, and see how things will move. I don't know the kind of manager they will bring, but there are a lot of managers out here. I really hope that we get an experienced one. I really don't like the idea of these youthful managers, because I look at the trend of these youthful managers going to these big clubs, and their run hasn't been good. You look at Alonso. Alonso is the latest casualty. You saw him. He lost the dressing room at Real Madrid. He felt trapped, and he couldn't get the balance of in that team. And he ended up getting the sack. He was sacked. Stop these people saying this BS of people saying, you know what, he just left. No, he was sacked. He was sacked. And you could see even on Sunday there were just shocking incident where players could not heed what he was telling them. He was telling them, let's give Barcelona a guard of honor. And you could see players like Mbappe telling the other players, no, let's go this way. So it wasn't good. It wasn't good for that. But this will always happen, especially in these football clubs. That's why I'm always against youthful managers taking youthful managers. And if you want to take youthful managers, make sure you don't have these big boys in your team. And if you're going to do that, make sure you're going to give your manager, youthful manager, a lot of time and a lot of resources so that he comes up with his team the way Arsenal did to Arteta. But by then they didn't have those big names. They had like 4-3, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Ozil, maybe Granit Xhaka by then. But if you look at their players, they had mediocre players like Stein. They have people like Papastathopoulos by then, David Luiz. So those are the things. So I think if you're moving in that direction and you want to bring a youthful manager, I think it's high time now you think twice, because maybe you bring a youthful manager, but you also want the players and tell them whoever is going to bring any ego in the dressing room, it's you who gonna go, not the manager. So if you let that happen, then that's the better. But you see now, a club like Real Madrid cannot be in a rebuild. That's not how they operate. They always try to win anything. Even I remember the first Galactico era when they failed. But at some point, he was still signing players. And even in between, he won the league. Like they won the league back-to-back, 2007 and 2008. It's only that they stayed for so long with poor results in the Champions League until 2014. So these things happen. I don't think Real Madrid, that team that rebuilds. Man United, where we are, I think we have to. I'm just hoping we bring a new manager. People keep telling us Glasner plays with a back three, but you people, I think you didn't watch him at Frankfurt, and I think he has been somewhere else. He is a manager who can adapt. The issue is not a back three, and even the issue with Amorim was not a back three. The issue with Amorim was he was so egotistical, and he didn't want to change his formation. Glasner is that type of manager who gonna change it. He will try all these things, and he understands, because he knows, if the back three doesn't work, I will try something else. If you watch Crystal Palace, on paper they look like they play on a back three, but when their intention when they have the ball and when they don't have the ball is totally different things. So those are the things that we keep saying. So I look at those managers, I think they're good. Alonso, I don't think we can gonna get Alonso. I think he will go to Liverpool. We had a discussion here yesterday. Even Daddy Owen was here. We had a very, very insightful conversation about Real Madrid yesterday, and it was a very, very good football space, one of the best we have had in recent weeks. So yesterday we really championned Real Madrid here. So I think Alonso will go to Liverpool. So, and I don't know. Enrique maybe might come to United or City, or even Real Madrid, because he was he also played for Real Madrid. So other things. I don't know, what is your take on Carrick, bro, or what are your expectations?
Well, jambo to everyone. Wow. Appointing Carrick at this moment feels like an Arteta or Pep Guardiola moment at Barcelona. When Guardiola was appointed, was promoted from a Team B coach to replace Ricard at Barcelona. Pep was a very young guy. Apart from coaching the Team B and being the captain, I think he had never coached anywhere. So, okay, why am I making a comparison?
He was back at Team B, my coach.
Yeah. Because I think at this moment, Man United doesn't need. We don't need a manager per se. We need a motivational coach at this moment. And ukiangalia Carrick, his personality and character, I think he's that guy who is going to, first of all, bring harmony between the players, the fans, and the club owners, because he's a cool guy, he's collected, and then si mtu wa kuropokwa like Amorim, who is someone who is so rigid and all that. And I think that's what Man United need right now. Also, hiyo mambo ya being a legend and all that. I think, okay, to me it's a non-issue because right now we need someone who is going to rally these boys and maybe be able to string to get results. And I think Carrick is that guy. His style of play, he's more direct, but also it's dynamic. And with the squad that Akonayo, we don't have players with big ego because ukiangalia mtu kama Casemiro, I think Casemiro is the most senior player in that Man United squad and is the most humble. Also ukiangalia mtu kama Bruno, ukiangalia Delete, Maguire, so he's getting into an environment that is going to, I think they're going to accept him first of all, and that's one thing that these young experimental managers really need, and that's what made Arteta to be what he is right now at Arsenal. So I think having Carrick, and now I'm very optimistic that game ya Man City we might get a point finally. But with that said, I really hope that the management, even if we are not going to make a big purchase this transfer window, let us get a midfielder on loan. I really feel that we can't miss someone who will be able to stabilize that midfield because Mainu, Rugate, those boys cannot help this squad at the moment. So if we can get one midfielder even on loan, just for be able to get us for I think there's 17 games to go. Yeah. And with that, with the Carrick, I'm very hopeful that we are going into the next year tutakuwa kwa European football, either Europa or we might be able to get a Champions League spot because wale tuna compete now are also useless. Chelsea, Liverpool, and even Aston Villa still, I don't know kama they'll be able to maintain them on their current form and momentum until the end of the season. So still there are 3 or 2 spots to be grabbed in the Champions League spot. So Man United is still, we still have a chance to get there. And with Carrick, we have a very good chance to. Lastly, I think, I don't know, but there are suggestions of about his backroom staff. But I just hope that he will be able to bring. I don't know whether McKinnon is a free agent at the moment, but he will be a very good addition to his backroom staff. Watu kama Rooney, they are just good for PR and punditry and all that. Well, watu wa Amorim, I say for the 18th time, we don't regret sacking Amorim. With 13 wins, I don't regret sacking Amorim, and we are not going to regret sacking Amorim whatsoever. Mkituambia hapa Amorim was nini, no, we are not going to regret because huyo jamaa kuna kitu yote alifanya kwa hii club. So KOT, mimi I'm happy we've been able to announce Carrick, and personally I'll support Carrick if akitupatia European football, especially Champions League. Let's retain Carrick. Because we've seen it happen in Barcelona, we've seen it happen in with Xabi at Bayern Leverkusen. Yeah, we've seen it happen with Arteta. So I think if Carrick can be able to get us to the Champions League, it will just be good to retain him. And then when we retain him, he should be backed. Thank you.
Thank you. There is a fear that there's fear amongst Man United fans after Carrick appointment. There is a name that has also been appointed, coming as one of the technical bench, Steve Holland. Steve Holland has been Gareth Southgate assistant at England national team under 21 and in a senior team. Many are saying it's a red flag because maybe Ineos are just laying the foundation for Gareth Southgate to come in the summer because it doesn't make sense. And by the way, I see them making sense because if you look at Steve Holland, I don't know. I don't know how we ended up having Stephen Holland as one of the assistants of Michael Carrick. I don't know. Maybe it is something that maybe Ineos are settling with Gareth Southgate. Remember, Gareth Southgate was linked with United before Amorim was appointed. There is a guy among the Ineos guy that just fancy Gareth Southgate. Okay, majority, I think if we appoint Gareth Southgate, the internet will be in a frenzy. I don't know what will happen. And I think Gareth Southgate out will start by day one. But I don't think I will be those people. But again, I will also be disappointed because the only thing Gareth Southgate gonna bring on this team, yes, he's very good in rebuilding, bringing cohesion in the dressing room. That is what he did at the England national team. Remember, they were suffering, they had issues with the dressing room for years. And when he came to England national team from England under 21, elevated into the senior team, he changed everything and really improved. England started becoming competitive. You remember 2018, they reached they got the bronze medal, I think, at the World Cup. They have been good. They have been good in the Euros. You have seen they have reached two finals in the Euros and losing them. So maybe, but I don't think he's that manager who's gonna take you over the line. But again, let's wait and see. But I understand those people who are seeing that and asking why Stephen Holland there. I don't know. 6,000. How are you?
Niko poa bosi, ukoje?
Niko poa.
Brother, naona kuna wino amesema hapo a lot of rumors. What I'll say is that you guys catching up is going to be a big problem because it is the attitude, it is the players, it is the coach. Mkianza kucompete with Arteta experiment yake ili work because he was given a lot of time. With Manchester United, they want success, so they are not giving out time. So it's going to be a big deal when it comes to that. They are not ready to experiment. They want ready-made coaches who are going to bring success to the team. That's all about. They are going for someone like Amorim because he was dominant kwa hiyo Farmers League. So it's going to be a big problem. The big problem with Manchester United again, still we have that Ferguson energy at Old Trafford. People want to achieve success yenye Alex Ferguson aliachieve, but they don't see the amount of time that is going to take. So it's going to be a big deal. Me, I'm happy you guys brought in Carrick because that is another 3 points for Arsenal.